Hello, welcome, or welcome back to Heretic Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. I haven't even actually chosen a deck. I just, the energy was available for me to make this little intro. I'm like, am I going to be an intro girly? Yeah, for the time being. At least for this series of readings, there is going to be an intro. I want to set intentions at the beginning, or at least share with you my intention that I always have for every single reading that I do, whether it's on YouTube or one-on-one personal readings. I am not psychic. I am not claiming to be. I do know these cards. And my intention is for the message to come through me, not from me. For your highest good, for my highest good. We're just two friends reading tarot together. So anyway, I do also try to share the meaning of each card because you have your own intuition, and obviously you're the person that's involved in your own life, right? So I share the meaning of each card so that you can discern, you can listen to your own guidance around each card for sorry, I closed my eyes and all of a sudden I got lost. I am naturally a blonde. I immediately heard blonde moment. Anyway, I closed my eyes and I got lost. Bro. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you have your own intuition. You're the one, right, that's involved in your own life. I want you to know the meanings of each card so that you can also receive your own message, right? Listen to yourself. The whole reason I even give tarot readings is for you to return to yourself, for you to listen to yourself, which is why I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know already, right? I'm more than likely confirming or affirming things for you. No doubt your intuition is see, told you. But also, I do think that is important. I think that's an important part because once you know for sure, right? Once you have that confirmation, it's that you can free up the energy for what's next. You have confirmation. Now what? Right? Now what? So I haven't even really chosen a deck yet. Did I say that? This is a deck that I was thinking of in my mind's eye. Let's see if it even wants to do the reading or not. Do you want to do the tarot readings? Yeah, okay. That was the Ace of Cups. I do that for every reading too. Consent over here. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. Because honestly, community is becoming a big thing for me. In what's next for me. So let's get on to the reading. Great. So this is the reading for the 4/6 human design profile. Is this table is something crooked? I cannot for the life of me figure out. I'm just gonna get the cards out first and then let my OCD run wild. So what'd I say? This is a reading for the 4/6 human design profile, the opportunist role model. If you don't know what your human design profile is, there's a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. And of course, not to worry if you don't know much about human design. This isn't necessarily meant to, be educational or anything. I don't really try to use a ton of human design language just in case, but it's meant to just be an additional avenue to receive a message, because not every, Aries is a 4-6, or not every Virgo is a 4-6, right? So definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings. Those are up. And yeah, let's get you some cards. Let's see what's going on for our 4-6 baddies. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Talk about baddies. I do not take the cards that flip in the deck because we want commitment over here. And if the card doesn't come all the way out of the deck, I don't think that it's serious. So just flip it back over. Also, I've had one-on-one conversations with every single deck that I own. And we agreed that's the rule. So they know what's up. What about this Queen of Pentacles? What are we looking at? The Hierophant, the 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups, Knight of Swords. All right. Now let me see if, because this is, pretty level, pretty straight for me. So let me just make sure it's not crooked on the screen. No, looks good. Okay. Freaking out for no reason. It's pretty on brand for me. So, Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant, which is a number 5 also. 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups, Knight of Swords. You know what is so interesting to me specifically is that the 2 court cards are looking in the same direction. So to me, the right side of the card is the future. The right or the left side of the card is the past. And both of these court cards are looking towards the future. So to me, it really does seem like moving through energy, like moving forward, going through the motions, but in the sense of, like taking steps forward. So let's just start with the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it, our time. Where are we investing our time? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? It's also our physical health and our body. Literally anything tangible, anything that you place worth and value in. When it comes to queens, I see them as when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize the energy, we learn to work with it. We also learn to give it to ourselves, because it's like being able to, it's almost like, I kind of keep getting this feeling of like testing boundaries, and really almost just trying to find your, what's the word? I don't want to say comfort zone at all. And maybe comfort zone, but not in the sense of like, keeping yourself small, boxing yourself in, right? Like not in that sense, in the like Pentacles sense of like self-care. How do you want to structure your days, your nights, your sleep schedule, right? Like your morning ritual, how much time you spend socializing, or you know what I mean? Like it's more of that type of comfort zone. Again, not the type of comfort zone that we tend to get stuck in because it's comfortable, right? So, because again, right, like the, I feel like I'm like stuttering all over the place all of a sudden, but let me slow down, which is also very Pentacles. So that is interesting that even happened which was actually really cool because, right, like I'm like trying to rush through it, or I'm trying to do too many things, like say too many things out of my mouth at one time. And literally the reminder, or even just the awareness that I'm moving too fast, doing too much, that's when I started stuttering. I started stammering. So even just recognize that in your own life too. Like if you find yourself spiraling a little bit, stuttering, stammering, whatever, it could be because you are trying to move too fast. Pentacles don't really move all that fast. You know who does? This Knight of Swords over here. We'll get to that. But over here, no, this is not a time to be moving really fast. It is almost really a time to be intentional with your self-care, with yourself, with where you're spending money, how you're getting it. All those things that I mentioned about Pentacles, and literally like pouring it into yourself, investing that into yourself as well. These leaves to me feel fall, like autumn, right? Just the color of them. We're literally going into spring. So just the fact that on this Pentacles card, again, right, like as far as seasons go, leaves tend to look like this in the autumn or the fall. I almost kind of feel like that's a timeline. Like right now, be purposeful, go slow. Also, to even be grounded. Obviously Earth is very grounded. Even working on your root chakra. I feel like my dog is about to start barking. Hang on. Are you? He's kind of looking at me like, oh, see? Yeah. You tell him. Thank you. It's interesting. Okay, so this Queen of Pentacles is looking at this Hierophant here, which is Taurus, which is Earth. I don't know if the Queen of Pentacles is specifically Taurus. I don't think, honestly, I have no effing clue, and I don't have my laptop here to look either. I should know these things, but I do not. So the Hierophant talks about tradition, but more so like what the Hierophant is about is passing along knowledge. That's kind of where the tradition thing comes from, because that's passed down, right? Like it's either cultural, it's either, like within your family, societal, whatever, right? Like those type of traditions. But also like it could be school, because when you go to school, there is somebody who already has the expertise, who already has the education, the training, the experience, usually, right? And they are teaching you on that subject. So they are learning you, passing along that wisdom, right? It could even be a job. I mean, Pentacles over here with the Queen of Pentacles. It could be a job, because usually with any type of job, there is some level of training. Although people keep saying that like training keeps getting like more and more scarce, which is wild to me. Anyway, we're not going to get on that tangent, but right. So usually like when you do start a new job, there is some level of training. And again, there's somebody who has already received that training, already has that expertise, the experience. They are passing that on to you. And you're now learning it. You're now putting it into practice. So what else? Like, I'm sure you probably get the point. Like, even, because pentacles again have to do with our health. This could be doctors, the, just healthcare system, coach, something along those lines, using traditional medicine, whether it's Western, Chinese, other, all of the things, right? So it is interesting because either way you look at it, right? Like however that fits for you, you are in a period here where not only are you just really considering yourself here, right? Like, where do you want to spend your time? How do you want to grow? How do you want to work with the Pentacles energy, right? And here to me would signify finding people, mentors, classes, jobs, doctors, whatever, that would be able to assist you in that. And it may be that, this is over the next couple months. Because anytime I've looked at this Queen of Pentacles card, I keep looking at these leaves. So again, just fall, autumn time frame. Just really allowing yourself to like dive in to that, like not even necessarily checking the results until autumn or fall. It's interesting that the middle card, the card that is literally in the middle of this whole reading, is the Five of Swords. You know what's going to get in your way? Yourself, your head, your beliefs. For whatever reason, indoctrination keeps coming out. And also, too, even with this Hierophant and the Five of Swords being next to each other. The Five of Swords for me is like a battle of wits. It is, swords have to do with our mind and our mindset, our belief systems, truth, honesty, but like divine truth, like absent of feelings, because then it kind of becomes an opinion. It's literally kind of what can be proven. It's also intellect. How are you communicating any of those things? I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we tend to hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings, circumstances. It creates homeostasis, which is that comfort zone we were talking about, where I was like, I am not talking about that type of comfort zone. That could be this. That could be, again, your brain is going to be the thing that, and in the realm of human design, regardless, I think, if you have a defined head or not, we don't make decisions from the head center. It's a pressure center. We don't make decisions from the head or the root. They're pressure centers. So again, regardless of if yours is defined or not, I think even like mental projectors, like you still need to have a sounding board, right? Like you still have to like get the shit out of your head and like hear it outside of your head before you can make a decision on it, right? Because again, right, like the idea, the whatever comes into our awareness. We feel pressure behind it to do something with it. And sometimes we're not meant to do anything with it except file it away. No doubt at some point a conversation will arise and you'll be like, oh my God, I just had this idea the other day. Maybe that idea is for you, and you satisfy the idea. Maybe it's an idea that comes up for you down the road. Ha. We have the Six of Cups here next. Let me just kind of finish my thought on that. All I wanted to say is that don't believe everything you think. And don't think that every idea you have, good, bad, otherwise, is anything that needs to be given attention to. Physically write it down, put it in a note in your phone, if you just file it away mentally for later. Or again, right, because the whole purpose of that, and what I mean by that, is that, we're supposed to, quote unquote, allow those things to drop down into and go through the filter of our strategy and authority. Because your strategy and authority is there to help you enter into the quote unquote correct experiences for you. And in this card, there's this one figure that's holding 3 swords here. There's these 2 over here that seem a bit defeated. And this is kind of like a win at all costs thing, right? And that's why, to me, it's like a battle of wits. 5s are transitionary energies. They're nothing to like pitch a tent and get stuck in. And again, right, like, do not allow your mind to, talk you into or out of things that like you haven't considered through the lens of your strategy and authority. Also, since the 6 of Cups is here, that is the card of the past. It talks about, inner child. It does talk about kindness too, like acts of kindness. But like I said, it is the card of the past. So this could either like be a time, right, where maybe you find yourself in the same type of cycle that you've been in before, and your only opponent here is yourself. It's your mind. It's your belief system, that homeostasis, the choices that you have always made, or even like glass ceiling type stuff, like reaching that point again. But what is that book called? The Big Leap, I think. It has a picture of a goldfish jumping between fish bowls. I think that book talks about breaking through the glass ceiling, and I never finished it. But right, I mean, like it takes awareness. Like, do you feel uncomfortable? But also, like, is it that type of comfort or discomfort, I should say, where like you are going beyond a place that you've already been, right? That's that glass ceiling. And that's what's uncomfortable, because you're like, I haven't gone this far yet, so I don't really know what's beyond this point. And your brain, your ego, whatever, wants to be like, oh, whatever's over there is dangerous, or like, because all it wants to do is keep you safe, right? Like, it's just, but it's one of those things of like feeling the fear, doing it anyway. Also too, like getting comfortable with uncertainty, because it's like one of those things of like, there really is like no turning back. It's like, it's 2025. The time for turning back is done. And two, how many times have we done that? You reach a certain point, it gets way too uncomfortable, fall back into old habits, old ways of being. And then the whole process of, how you feel about that, how you like your outlook on life, again, like your mindset, just that all kind of reverts back to. But it is comfortable. It is known. And frankly, ain't nobody got time for that. It's time to explore the unknown. And you know what's crazy? Is that it's only unknown for like literally a split second, right? Because like even like walking into a new job or whatever, and this is like the pot calling the kettle or whatever, because I know like my anxiety gets the best of me too, where I'm just like, honestly, I cannot do that. Like, alone or otherwise, because my brain just blah, 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 right? So again, it's almost like one of those things of like, okay, then it's taking almost too big of a leap, like cut that in half, take smaller steps if at all possible, do the whole just for today thing, do the whole one decision at a time thing. Also, just keep reassuring yourself too that you'll be fine. Because you will. We will. And it really does just take like one time walking in there by yourself, or I don't know, doing the thing, making the call, whatever it is, right? Like, and with this Six of Cups here, there could be something from the past that is coming up again. And again, it could just be a cycle that you find yourself in, but no doubt, like just push yourself past your comfort, even an inch. Even an inch. Hell yeah. An inch is huge. And then the Knight of Swords over here, ready to go. Like I said, like the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the whole tarot. I mean, there's only 4, but it is the fastest moving one, holding the Ace of Swords there, taking charge, being the one to literally just go for it, charging forward. I mean, this person really looks like they are in the trenches. I mean, they are in the middle of some battle here. This tower back here is on fire. The roof is literally on fire. So maybe we need to play that song. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. And even talking about the glass ceiling thing, right? Like, ooh, this is interesting. I really feel like the energy is available, and you might even have the motivation, the mindset to be like, I'm just going to blast through that shit. Like, I'm ready for it type of thing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that. Standing, like on your truth, relying on your truth, getting your mind right, even like not even listening to those thoughts that come through that want to keep you, like Brene Brown calls them gremlins. I'm really not sure if they ever truly go away, no matter like, how far along you are on your heal, or how much awareness you have of the creation of your ego, right? I really don't know if that shit goes away, but I do know that what becomes easier is recognizing them and not honoring that, like not listening to them, being like, okay, cool, thanks for your input. However, I'm going to do it anyway. And whatever happens, happens. But what I can't do is keep going back. I can't keep, I don't even want to keep wrestling with myself over this thing. Because it's like, again, just this kind of like tug of war thing happening in your head. One side wants to move forward. The other side is giving you reasons why not to. One side is like, hell yeah, this is really exciting. And this is, like I feel like this is, something that I want to create, that I want to, whatever, I have the knowledge for, I want to learn, I have an interest in. And the other side is like, well, do you? So don't even listen to that bitch. But again, I don't know if it's ever going to go away, but I do think that it gets easier to just, again, say to yourself, yeah, I hear you. I can recognize your concern, but I do have to move forward. We have the Two of Wands, Ace of Cups, King of Cups, the Empress, Five of Cups. Okay, we'll try to get through these. I don't want this to be like super duper long, but Two of Wands, planning for the future, right? Exactly. And not to mention in this card, there are 2 people. We can't see the other person over here. We can see their hand though. So there is some sort of energy exchange going on here. It could even be making connections. both parties have their own Ace of Wands. So again, and it's between the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So this would be making the right connections, like meeting somebody who has the knowledge, the wisdom, the information, the whatever it is that you need. And negotiating almost. I mean, wands have to do with actions, the things that we try, what we put our energy into doing, the motivation behind it. So this is all, and it's a 2. So it's at the beginning. So, things are working. Things are coming together here. Again, okay. I know I've already, okay. Not to like beat a dead horse, but whatever this Hierophant is for you, any of those areas that we talked about, this would be making that right connection. The Ace of Cups, your cup overflowing. This to me would be that whole feeling the fear, doing it anyway. It's almost like you would rather fill your cup than to listen to the fear, the doubt, even if it's like other people, because there are 3 people on this card. There doesn't have to be 3 people involved, but if there are people in your life that are like, no, that won't work, or whatever, right? Like you're trying to do one thing and they want you to remain the same way, because that would either force them to change, or like it's almost like they won't be enabled by you anymore. I just remember like when I quit drinking, I lost the majority of my friends because like that's what we did. We went out and we got drinks, and once I took that one element out of it, that we had nothing in common anymore. Right. But I chose my mental, emotional, and physical health over that. So that's like how this feels, however that fits for you. I mean, of course, it doesn't have to be obviously drinking, but, if there are people around you who they're just those type of people that they're going to be they're going to object to whatever it is. It really wouldn't even matter. And it could be in part too because they don't want you to do better than them. And, it just is. I mean, people are like that. So don't even give those people your energy. I love that we have the King. So we have the start of the cups and we have literally the end of the cups here. That is fucking beautiful. Kings are the highest expression of the suit. This would be, emotional clarity, empathy, compassion, intuition, being an authority. It's almost like since it is between the 5 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, like you really do have the emotional maturity, the emotional capacity, not to mention too, like this is like the full embodiment of all of the stuff from the past, all of the lessons that you've learned, because no doubt anytime, you've come back to whatever this 6 of Cups is, like whatever this cycle is, you've picked up more information, more knowledge. You almost like even got clearer on your feeling for it. And it truly is like going for it. We have the Empress card, which is also Taurus. We had that Taurus new moon yesterday. Or, well, I'm filming this on the 28th. I don't know. I can't remember when I'm going to put it out. But anyway, that full moon or that new moon kicked my ass. I'm a Taurus sun. It wasn't even anywhere near any of my Taurus placements. And it kicked today I feel better. Anyway, Venus though, Libra, Taurus, and Venus is where? It's either in Pisces or Aries. It might be in Aries already. I can't. It might be in Aries. I don't know. Anyway, I know that it was like bunched up with Saturn and the North Node there for a couple days at the like later degrees of Pisces, so it might have now moved into Aries. Either way though, I'm just pointing that out just so you know, like if you know where those areas are in your chart, then that's kind of where there might be an emphasis, or you might be recognizing the areas of life where Taurus is in your chart, or the areas of your life too where Libra is, or the areas of your life where Venus currently is. But this is literally creation, the divine feminine, birthing something in your image, creating something out of your own image. It's also intuition. We have all the, you know, these two cards that talk about intuition, empathy, compassion, the feels, love also. What is your relationship to it? How do you give it? But more importantly, how do you receive it? Because I think a lot of us are really good at offering, but we cannot be all that great with receiving. So, the Empress is about receiving though. So she's not going to chase shit. No, it's coming to her. It is going to come to her. Even the nurturing element, like the Queen of Pentacles, being in your power, you know, the Five of Cups, letting go of what is no longer serving you. Also, the whole thing with the Five of Cups is that, sure, there's these 3 cups here that have spilt out, but there are these 2 cups that are still there. So it's like all is not lost. Not to mention it's another 5. We have 3 5s out here. It could be mourning those things, because I think the grieving process is pretty important in most cases. You know, if things haven't gone the way that you wanted them to, it's perfectly fine to be disappointed in that. It is perfectly fine, you know, but the kicker is not to then equate that to literally every other experience that you are ever going to have ever in your life, which we also do, right? Like just as human beings. So, you know, if things don't work out, just please remember there are more opportunities that are more befitting of you. The High Priestess, especially with the High Priestess, that is like divine timing, fate. This little scroll that she holds, I feel like is like the book of our lives, basically. It's also, you know, being in tune with your star player, whoever that is. For me, it's my higher self. It's like literally me. It could be God, source, divine, if you believe in a higher power. Or again, it is your own intuition, because we all have it. And it is really trusting that. 2, 3. This to me feels like a more like modest or like covered up version of the Empress. I don't know why. 4 of Swords, the Star card. Yeah, chill. Just chill. Even the leaves on this card are the same folly, autumny colors. Let your guard down too. A little bit. The Star card, trust the process. Faith, hope, right? Manifest. Okay, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.